how far from delusion is manifestation?
Interesting. Because you gotta be a little delusional to manifest. You do.
So,
But the difference is manifestation oftentimes comes with a plan of action for your delusional thoughts.
so before we get to the weekly Reddit,
Yes.
I want to talk intrusive thoughts.
Okay.
So, what's yours or one of yours?
You know what it is. And it's the same one. I don't want to work no more.
So, okay, so I always considered intrusive thoughts to be things that could harm you.
And it could.
I mean, I guess just up and quitting your jobs could harm you.
I'll just be sitting there one day and be like, today feels like the last day.
See, I always thought intrusive thought would be more like,
All the people that like want to kill people and their brain goes, hey, wouldn't it be nice? How would blood feel in your hands?
or
And
even the
like,
people that would be like cutting things and like, I wonder how it would feel to just like chop my finger off.
you know what? I do that in the sense that, for one, I always live in this crazy scenario
Mm-hmm.
where someone is trying to break into my house and kill me.
So I have that too.
I'm like,
But
what
the big
if?
one for me is when I'm on an elevator, especially the ones at the pharmacy.
Well, because they're sketchy.
I always think, what if the floor gives out? How would I survive?
Oh, I just think I might get stuck.
No,
Like,
I always think, what if the floor just was no longer there?
okay, ma'am, why would the floor dissipate? Explain to me.
I don't know. But I think
You always taking
there
shit too far. Why would you?
I always think there is literally nothing below this. This little slab of thin ass metal.
Which is true.
There is
On some
nothing
pulleys?
below on some damn wires. And then I start thinking, well, I'm just gonna be like, what's his fucking name? The dude that went to the tomb and took the
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones, and I'm gonna be swinging on wires and shit to save myself if I fall out this elevator.
My thought would be I would climb out the top like they do in action movies.
But my thing is, I thought about that. So I'm like, if the floor gives out on this thing, chances are this elevator is about to go down. So I need something to hang on to.
If that was my thought process, I wouldn't be getting on no elevator. I just take the stairs. I don't even do all that. You're doing a lot. You're doing a lot. Just take the stairs, girl. I mean, you can't with the cart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have to get on the elevator. But that is why I don't usually take elevators, because I have that thought every single time I get on an elevator. That's why I
don't know
told
if that's an intrusive thought or I don't know what that is.
so maybe it's not an intrusive thought, but
Girl, I don't know what that is.
I thought it qualified.
Neither one of us gave an example of an intrusive.
Maybe we just don't know what intrusive thoughts actually are.
I do though. I don't really have any besides the whole thinking, what if I cut off all the lights and somebody in there with a knife?
But that's not an intrusive thought, because you're not actually doing anything. You just somebody else is.
But it's only, at the end of the night, you wrapping up, you make sure all the doors is locked, make sure all the windows is locked,
And then
and you
turn
just
the light
walking
off.
around.
Well, that's a pretty common thing, though.
I'm like,
I've seen that a lot where, the clothes is on the chair and you turn the lights off and all of a sudden it look like some demon is sitting in the corner.
girl, that coat rack in the living room has almost taken me out so many times.
Man, speaking of though, like
Mhm.
the things, have you ever had sleep paralysis?
Praise the Lord. No.
Oh my God, I have.
Sounds terrible. My sister said she had them. I said, so you dead, but you not? I don't
No,
like
you're not
that.
dead.
No, she was like, you know what's going on, and you telling your brain is telling your arm move, and your arm don't move. You saying get up, and then you can't get up. And I said, oh no.
I
Mm-mm.
remember when I was a kid, I used to have like occasionally sleep paralysis, and my bedroom was right off of the kitchen, and I would wake up and I could hear my mother. There was one time I could hear my mother and sister in the kitchen talking, and I'm literally laying on my back, but I can't move. And I'm like, fuck moving. I just want somebody to come in here and see what's going on. So I'm trying to
Am I
talk. I'm
alive?
trying to talk,
And you can't.
and I couldn't talk. And I didn't know what the hell sleep paralysis was. So I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? What's about to
Am I
happen? Am I
paralyzed?
dying? Why can't I move? And I'm a kid at this point, so I don't know what the hell is going on. And I'll be honest with you, every single time it happened to me, all I did was start praying.
What else can you
I'd
do?
be like, God, please don't let me die. Please let this end. And they say that sleep paralysis literally only lasts for like literally 60 seconds, but it feels like a really, really long time.
Scary. I'm
It is terrifying.
glad I haven't experienced it.
Terrifying. If you've ever experienced sleep paralysis, tell me your
Mm-mm.
story, because it is, for me, it was terrifying.
It sounds terrible. I'm glad I'm not involved.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the weekly Reddit.
Weekly Reddit.
You and your theme song. So this one is titled, How Do I Set Boundaries with a Clingy Friend?
Let them go.
Okay.
But yes, let's read this.
It says, my friend has become very needy and clingy lately. I think she has always been that way, but I realize she has an anxious attachment style, and she tends to be controlling and has anxiety.
Sound like a lot, but okay.
But lately, I noticed it is getting worse after she had a kid. She always
Mm.
texts me throughout the day to give me updates about her life, like what she ate, where she went, who she saw, how her day was, and about her kid. I am not really interested to know about these details, and I honestly can't always text because I am busy, and knowing these details seems a bit unnecessary. There has been times where I don't respond. She gets anxious and asks why I don't respond. Did I get her messages? Why I don't share anything with her? Did I miss her? Etc. I find this a bit possessive and controlling on her end. Maybe I'm wrong.
Nah, she think you her.
Uh,
She using you as a boyfriend, is what it sound like.
And then it says,
Oof.
I have also noticed she invites me to activities she wants to do with her kid. As a single gal who doesn't have kids, I am not really interested in doing that with her. Not that I don't like her kid or being around kids. I just have different interests. I am not sure why she invites me to this, given that she has other friends who have kids to do that stuff with.
Yeah.
Anyways, I've tried limiting my hangouts with her. I've also noticed that when I say no, she asks why I'm saying no and do I have other plans. Another example of her being controlling. And when we hang out, she always talks about herself first and wants to know every detail about my personal life, especially who I am dating. She tries to set me up with someone, which I don't ask her to do and never did.
Mm.
I find this to be invasive and don't feel the obligation to share that because I am a private person. She is a good person and I know she will be there for me, but sometimes it feels draining to be around her to the point I actually don't really want to hang out with her. Maybe we just grew apart. How can I set boundaries and limit my hangout with her without hurting her feelings? Because I know she will try to manipulate me, guilt trip me to make me the bad guy.
Sound like she answered her own question, didn't she?
I have thoughts on this.
I'm like, she ain't
I
that good of a person if you know she's manipulating people. She's not that good of a, and on top of that, her issues are her issues. Those are not your issues to deal with. She need therapy. She don't need you. She needs therapy.
Here's the thing. There is a part of me that feels like that poster is exaggerating.
I don't know. Well, it depends on.
It
how it
seems like
depends
she
on her
already don't
person.
want to hang out
Yeah,
with the
that's what I
girl
said.
and
She see
don't
why she
really
answered
like
her
the
own
girl.
question.
And
She's trying to make a
she's
clean getaway without hurting that girl
and
feelings, is what
she's
it sound like.
it seems like, because honestly, a lot of that stuff that she's talking about with the friend, I'm like, that's stuff that friends do anyway. I'm like,
She don't want to be that girlfriend.
exactly. That's my thing. It really, to me, it sounds like you just don't want to be her friend, and that's fine. And that's okay.
But my thing is, when you first felt like she was doing too much, you should have had an honest conversation with her then. Cause you can't put up with it for 3 years and then all of a sudden, I don't like that. And she like, well, why didn't you say anything for 3 entire years that you
Well, the
felt like I was controlling and
well, the other thing that makes me think that is because she's using strong words, manipulating me, guilt tripping me. She's trying to control me, but then at the same time, but she's a great person.
that's what I said,
She's an
she can't
awesome
be both.
person.
That's what I said, she can't be
And
both.
I'm like, so
She can't be both. Like I said, she can't
are
be
you trying
both.
to me, it feels like a, situation where people will exaggerate things so that people be on their side and then they feel better about the decisions that they made.
Yeah, but it's like you shouldn't need a co-signer. You're a grown adult. If you don't want to be that girlfriend because you feel like being her friend is too much, I mean, that is what it is. But also, it seems like that she wants somebody to be there for her, and she know that girl's there for her,
Hmm.
but
which
she
which
don't want to.
sounds like she's doing the manipulating
But she
because
don't want to be
she
with him.
gonna be there
Like
for
I
you.
know
So
she got me, and I need somebody who got me, but
but I
I
also
want to
don't want to hang
distance
out with her either
myself
though.
from. I'm
So
like,
how do I keep her on the hook with it while not also hanging out with
and you
her?
can't,
I'm like,
you
for one, you
can't.
don't do that because now you're the manipulative one. And I would have a big issue with that.
Sound like her friend just needy, and she
It
ain't
sound
had no conversation with her friend about her feeling like she's needy. I don't think she's
To me
actually
it
talked
sound
to
like
her.
this woman had a baby and now her life is probably centered around the baby and she wants to spend time with her friend. But that's the only time she can do it is when she with her baby. I'm sorry. And I don't think people should expect that when I mean, different friendship groups, but if you was to come to me today, like if you didn't have kids already, and you was to come to me today and say you pregnant, I would not think that 9 months from now, when you have that baby, that I need to start distancing myself from you because now you have a baby. I would also not be surprised if you invited me to stuff with your baby.
Cause it's weird. It's like, cause she didn't say the activities. I'm like, cause there's plenty of stuff you could do, like go to restaurants and stuff with a baby. That's the same stuff
Exactly.
y'all did
Just because somebody
before.
has a baby doesn't mean you can't still spend time with them. So,
She
and
don't want to spend time with her.
she don't,
She
and that's
don't
the
want
thing.
to
I'm like,
spend time
to
with
me,
her.
it felt like she just was looking
Sound
for a
like she
co-signer.
hate her. And she wanted her, and she
And
wanted to
that's what I
end
was
the
like. I'm just getting
friendship.
the impression that you don't even like this girl. Just end it. Don't keep her on the hook just because you want somebody that's gonna be there to have your
And
back
you
when
don't
you
want to
need it.
feel bad. You want to let her go, but you don't want to feel bad about letting her
I
go.
think that's terrible. But I bet a lot of friendships do stuff like that.
Well, yeah, it's like if you want to let it go, but again, I'm too selfish to torture myself in that way. If I feel like
Now,
we
don't
have
get me.
come to the end of the road, cue boys to men because it's over.
Although we
We
come
come
to
to
the
the end of the road. And also,
end.
as a song number 2, Goodbye by Jagged Edge. And
Oh, I used to love that song.
don't really want to say goodbye. But it's like, yeah, songs will be played. It's over. We not friends no more. Because I don't want, but I wouldn't ditch somebody from having a kid because, I had my child later. Everybody else already had their kids. Everybody but Rachel had kids
I
by the
don't
time
think
I
you
had my
should
kid.
ditch people for having kids.
It
Kids
hasn't
are a
changed
part
our
of life.
friendships
They are
though.
like,
It hasn't changed our friendships. We're not any less friends.
and you shouldn't
And we
be.
didn't hang out.
Now
I
that
didn't
doesn't
mind doing kid stuff. I didn't mind their children being there. It didn't bother me that we at the restaurant and there's a baby. Because babies exist.
they do.
Yeah,
Now,
you
what
know.
I appreciate about my friends is they don't like you don't ask me to do a ton of stuff with your kids.
Because why would I? I got friends with kids to do that with.
I don't have any. I ultimately don't particularly care to be around
I mean,
kids,
before I had kids,
but
but why would I be a Chuck E. Cheese without kids?
and that's what I mean.
Why?
Now if her friend is
Why?
inviting her to Chuck E. Cheese to the kid birthday party, yeah, why are you inviting me there? But if it's just like, oh, I want to hang out, but the kids
Let's go
gonna
to the
be there,
park. What's wrong with that?
like, what's
You
wrong
don't
with
like
that?
scenery? Like, you
I was
know,
like, to me, it seemed like,
she don't want to
and
be there
don't
with her
get me wrong,
friend.
I think the friend, yes, she's probably draining. She probably
I was like, she
is.
sound needy. Sound real
She
needy.
probably is. She probably is draining.
But she was
But
always draining. You
exactly,
don't
I don't
develop
think
that.
that's just started.
I think she was always that way and you
And if
tolerating
it's
it.
getting worse, the only change that she's mentioned is that she recently had a baby. And you know that when you have a baby for a while, that is all you see is that damn baby.
On top of that, we
She's
don't know if she's
probably
a
craving
stay-at-home
some,
mother. Yeah,
she's
like
probably craving some friend
outside work.
time.
And that's why she keeps bothering you because she wants to hear about life outside of what she's
And then,
doing.
oh, that's the other thing. She
That's
said,
that's what I think she's doing. She wants to hear about you say she doesn't talk about nothing but herself, but
but then
yet you
said she
tell me
wants
she
to know
texts you
everything about
all
you.
day asking about what you doing. Which one is it?
I was like, so you don't want your friends to know anything about
I'm
you?
a private person.
Then don't get friends.
I was like, so how can she only talk about herself yet ask you about what you doing
She and
all day
the
long?
crazy thing, she said that in the same sentence. She always talks about herself first, and then she wants to know everything about me.
So she
Jay,
do talk
what
about
kind
you
of
then.
friendship would we have if I wanted to know absolutely zero about you?
That girl strange.
Like, I tell you everything about me, but don't tell me nothing about yourself.
I don't care about you. I just want to talk.
Like, what? So then,
Girl.
when y'all hang out, what are y'all doing then? If she can't talk to you about herself and you can't talk to her about you, what are y'all doing? But
Sound
wasting
like
each
she the
other
one trying
time.
to keep the friendship going. Seem like that's what's going on
That's what
here.
and she probably sensed that you acting like that, and maybe that's what's driving her to be a little more needy than typical.
Cause she feel you slipping away.
Yeah, because we know people will do that too. But yeah, when I read that part, I was like, she did not.
That's what I said. I was like, so is she a good person or not? That's my first thought. Is she a good person or not?
I think this person just
They ain't a
had.
good person. They just need to admit that sometimes, friendships change and you outgrow and you want different things from
And
your
that is
friendships,
okay.
and that's okay. But be honest about it. Why are you on Reddit instead of talking to your friend?
And I also don't see anything with her attempting to set her up. She doesn't say that she actually accepted it. She just asked her, in my opinion, the way I read it, it was more of a, hey, I got this guy. Y'all might actually vibe with each other. It wasn't a, oh, I snuck in, I set you up on
I
this.
said we going to this restaurant, but really, he gonna
Really,
be
he
at
the
the
only one
restaurant.
gonna. I'm like, that only happens in movies. At least if it happens to somebody out there,
I would
let us
leave.
know.
I'm not
I
sitting.
would too.
This ain't a Hallmark movie.
But we also know that for single people, the older you get,
It's hard.
the chances of you finding someone without your friends
It's
setting you up
slim,
is very slim.
slim.
So I wouldn't be mad I wouldn't be mad at you if you came to me and said, I got somebody that I think you would vibe with. I think you should date them.
Wish I did. Everybody married. Anybody
That's what
worth your
happens when you
time
get a
anyway.
that
Anybody worth your time anyway.
that's what happens when people get older. So,
I was like, anybody worth your time that I think you would like is not single.
but I'm saying I wouldn't be mad at that. In fact, I'd be like, oh, look at her.
Nice.
I'm like, so
That would
you
bring me
so
joy.
you don't want your friends involved in your life. You don't want them to know what's going on in your life.
But what's going on?
Then cut her off. Put her out of her misery.
Because
Let
sound
her
like you
go.
said she got other friends. So she could
She'll
just
I can guarantee she's gonna move on to another one. I'm like, you act like this woman, the whole world centers around you. When clearly it don't if she only talk about herself.
it's weird.
I don't
She's
know.
the manipulator trying to
That
pretend
that's
like
what
she's being manipulated.
that's what my thought was. I was like, I
Now she
think
probably will make you feel bad because she like, what is going on? Like this came from left field. I didn't know
because
that
to
you
her it
hated.
probably is.
I didn't know you hated me.
Because
Since when?
I don't like that manipulative stuff. Like, you can't say that this woman is so draining and she causing you all this stress because she manipulating you when you say no to something, or she is making
Because
you
I don't
feel
think her asking
guilty.
why is manipulating. Going, no, I don't want to do that. And she like, oh, okay. Why are you busy? I don't.
Now, don't get me
I
wrong.
don't do that. If somebody say they
I
don't want
don't
to
think
come, I leave
anybody
them
should be asking
alone.
a grown person why they don't want to do something, or why they did do something. I don't think anybody should be asking an adult that,
But
because
that's
you
fake
know
little
why?
friendship.
We've said this on this podcast before.
No
If
is a
I
complete
tell you
sentence. We
no,
done
it is a
told it.
complete sentence, and you can just assume it's because I didn't want to.
I mean, no is no, as they say. No means no. That's it.
And it's a complete sentence. It
But
is
then it depends on
100%.
the context. Is it something that she knows she want to do, so she really confused? Like, you like doing that. You know what's
What's
going
going
on.
on? But that's a different question from, well, why you don't want to come?
But we don't know what she said.
Exactly.
We don't know what her exact wording was. We don't know. I don't think she asked her like that. I
I don't
don't.
either. Based off the other stuff, it's like, why would she ask it like that? Like, to me, it seemed like if she's asking why, it's literally coming from a place of concern. Like, everything good? Okay.
We decided she's evil. Anywho,
That's I mean, and to be honest, I decided that when I first read it. And everybody in the comments talking about some, you know what, I disagree. I don't think you're being mean to her. I think
no,
this.
because that's why I said my first question was, okay, so is she nice or not? That's why that was my first question. Is she a good person or not? Because you're giving conflicting statements. You're
Well, it's
giving
because
conflicting statements.
at first when it was posted, some people was talking about that she was being mean to the friend. But then now other people is talking about, no, you're not being mean to her. You need to just tell her that she doing too much. And I'm
And
just
what you
like,
can, if you
and
feel
you
like she
can.
doing too much, you can tell her
I'm just
that.
not convinced that she's not the asshole in this though. And this ain't even in my the asshole section. But I think that she low key is just being an ass to this
I
person.
think they both annoying each other and they just need to let it go.
And I'm just like, well, if you have this big of a problem, you best believe I'm not keeping you in my life if you causing me that much drama. And or not drama, but
Stress.
stress.
It's like, just, I don't, why not just say something? Somebody is, if you're thinking about it that much, why are you having conversations with the internet about it and not your friend?
So there's somebody like me could find it and put it on the podcast.
She got no sympathy over here.
None. I'm sorry, cause she sounds like an ass. Like, you can't convince me that she is not trying to manipulate this woman to staying her friend so that she can use her when it's convenient for her,
Which is messed up.
but also not hang out with her because she's too much for her. And I'm like, nah, you just want to keep you just like these relationships where the men will keep a girl on the hook
Just because
because,
she a good girl. That's it.
yeah,
That's it.
like, and I know women do it too,
Everybody does. I wish they
but
wouldn't. I wish they wouldn't.
I wish they wouldn't either. Because think about how that shit feel. That don't feel good. So yeah, I think she's just an ass. And at the end of the day, if you cannot go and talk to your friends
That ain't
about the
your
shit that they are
friend.
doing to you,
That ain't your
they
friend.
are not your friends. Like, there's no way you could be that needy with me and I'd be like, Jay, like, chill out.
I'd be confused. I'd be like, girl, are you okay?
I'm like, just
Blink twice
chill.
if you need it for help. Like, what are you doing?
So yeah, no, there's
Uh,
no way I could have that kind. No, I couldn't have a friend like her in my life. Don't get me wrong.
That's what I said. She would get on my nerves.
But there's a type of friend for everybody. I mean, if for nothing else, the highlight that took off a couple weeks ago is a clear indicator. There's a friend for everybody. And I'm talking about the invite
People are
highlight.
just,
Because people were
I
not
don't
happy.
understand the confusion about friendship. I
I don't
don't get
either.
it. Why y'all so mad? I don't know.
Uh,
We live in our lives. We friends. We know how to be friends because we friends with each other. We both
but
have
that's the
other
thing.
friends.
But that's the thing. So, like, this friendship with her, they are just not a match. Find another
You
friend.
ain't compatible. Everybody ain't for
You're not
everybody.
compatible.
Everybody
And
ain't for
same thing with
everybody.
that friendship, the short that we posted a couple weeks ago talking about inviting friends
Oh, yeah,
or
that dude that
friending.
didn't have no friends, who thought he had friends but didn't have no friends.
Yeah, and when I said, "Oh, I had a friend that, she would mention stuff to me, but
Yeah.
then I didn't take it as an
The
invite." Oh my
anger.
gosh.
The
And honestly, for
anger.
the most part, it wasn't specifically anger. Now, some of it was anger, but other people, the ones that were having like
Real
real
conversation,
conversation,
yeah.
I responded to, and I'm just like, we're different, and that is okay.
I don't think the thing is, friendship shouldn't feel like a job.
It shouldn't.
And that's
And I'm sorry if
that's
I
my
gotta make
take.
assumptions every time you tell me
Why are
something.
you not more direct is the question.
That
Why
all
are
that
you not
tells
more
me is
direct?
we are not compatible, and that is
I
okay.
should be able to be like, hey, doing this, you may or may not want to come, but the invite is open and you can say whether or not you want to come.
Like I told you earlier, when you was just telling me about you and your husband's plan on in a couple weeks, by some of their logic, that
You would have
means
been at
I'm
that
supposed to
restaurant.
show up. I'm like, what?
That's not how that works.
It's not.
Sometimes people are just having casual conversation.
That's all it is. And that's why I say sometimes you're not compatible. And for that handful of people that was like, oh, no, that was definitely an invite, we're not
We're
compatible.
compatible because
And
I'd
that's
be like,
okay.
what are you doing here?
I will too.
No one invited you. I'd be mad. Oh, I'd be so mad if somebody did something like that to me.
I
I'm
would too.
like, hey, I'm going here at 8 o'clock on Wednesday. What you doing this weekend? Or what you doing this week?
Well, clearly I'm coming with you at 8 o'clock.
And then you say nothing. Then 8 o'clock roll around and I see your ass. I'm like,
Turn around and go home.
who the hell invited you?
I told somebody at work, I said, what if I got a little sneaky link that I don't want her to know about? And I'm just saying, yeah, I'm gonna be doing this at this day and this
And
time.
I'm there ruining.
And then she show up and now he done got exposed. Like,
And I'm like,
let me actually invite you.
I was raised that for one, you don't try to show up anywhere that you were not invited
That
to.
you didn't, yeah.
If you don't have an invite, it ain't for you. Because if they wanted to, they would. And that's just how life is. If they wanted to invite you,
Well, clearly, out of the 16 people that didn't like that short, now granted, 300, almost 400 liked it. Out of the 16 that disliked it and commented, they disagree. They say that even if they just mentioned the plans, if they even give you a time, that is an invite for you.
and you couldn't be my friend because I don't
No,
got time for
I'm
your
sorry.
mess
I don't want to have to assume, because
and read
then
your mind.
that one time I'm going to assume incorrectly and you're going to be wondering,
And
why is she
assuming
here?
makes an
That's
ass
out
of
of you
you
and
and
me.
me. Like, no, no,
I was like, nah.
no, ma'am, slash sir.
Honestly, in my
No.
opinion, it seems very vain to think that
Yeah,
when
that's what I
my
was like.
friends,
That was my thought. How self-centered to think anytime someone says anything that means that they talking directly to you.
and
And
you are invited, you are to
you're
show
like,
up.
you know what? They don't exist without me. They couldn't possibly be making plans without what? I'm always included. Of course I'm invited. I don't even need to invite. I am in your life.
But
I'm coming.
like I said, there's nothing wrong with the people that thinks that way.
Just find
That
friends
just
who think
means
that way.
exactly you clearly have friends that also think that same way.
Cause it
Me
ain't
and that friend clearly were
mm-mm.
not compatible.
It
Nothing
ain't me and
against her.
Jocelyn, cause we don't do that.
Jay, I'm telling you right now, you know how much I like doing stuff by myself. Don't show up to nothing that I got planned if I didn't say, hey, you want to
I
come?
got pride. I'm not showing up nowhere if the words "Do you wanna come?" or not. I'm not coming.
Oh, my bad.
I'm not coming because I was not invited, and I was raised that is rude.
Yeah,
And then I also feel
I
like
was
closed mouths don't get fed. If you want somebody to come, be grown
I
enough
was
to ask.
flabbergasted at how many people disagreed with that.
It
For one,
it
I didn't think that would be the
it
short
was
that
an
would take off.
unpleasant surprise. Is what it was.
Um,
Unpleasant.
I mean, it was fine. Like I
I
said, people are gonna disagree with something I say, or you say they have disagreed with something you said too.
boy, and they was mad at me, but it's all
But
right.
the thing that people have to remember is this podcast is called A Girl's
Girl's
Perspective.
perspective,
So
not a
it is our opinion.
opinion. That's it.
Everyone can have a differing opinion from us. We want people with differing opinions from us to comment on our stuff.
We just want to
Uh
see.
be respectful. And I don't think anybody in the comments was super
I
disrespectful.
just was like, what is up with the anger?
Oh
They
yeah,
took
like the
it
girl that told me to go
personal.
get therapy.
Yeah, I was
I'm
like,
like,
oh my god.
okay, it's just a
Okay.
differing opinion, but
I just
okay.
feel like if you want me to come, you would ask. But to me, therapy would tell you to be open with how you feel.
Somebody did say that they thought that if somebody did that, that it was manipulative.
And
Uh,
know,
I know how you feel about manipulative people,
everybody doing it.
and I was like, I don't
It
disagree with
borderline.
that.
I can see what they're coming from though, because it's like it's a little game. I feel like they playing a little game. Like I'm gonna bring it up, and then I'm accuse them of not being a good friend if they not there, even though I did not directly
Invite them.
ask them to come anywhere with me. I just gave them my itinerary as I stated, and then got mad that they did not show up.
I don't think it's well, maybe I guess this could be perceived as manipulative, but I was going to say I don't necessarily think it's manipulative to talk about your plans with your friends and expect them to be there. Well, I don't think that's manipulative. I think it's an unfair expectation.
I can see why they said that. I'm like, I can see why they said they like because it's like, what kind of game are you playing?
I think
Why
it's an
would you
unfair
tell
expectation because
me
there is a certain level of that you are expecting me to just know to show up when I'm like,
you didn't
maybe you
actually?
was wanting some alone time. Maybe you had somebody else you was meeting up there. Maybe something else was going on. I don't know. Um,
I don't assume I'm the most important. I don't assume that your life revolves around me. I don't assume that for my
well, just know
friends.
this.
I don't.
According to those handful of people, we are bad friends. But you know what? I'm not even gonna say that we're not. For that type of person,
We would
yes,
be.
we
Oh,
are bad friends,
we would be the worst.
100%. So
Because
yeah,
I wouldn't be
they
going
are
nowhere with you if you don't invite me.
nowhere, not
Nowhere.
anywhere. So yes, they are correct. They are 100% correct. For that type of friend, bad friend, do not have me as your friend.
Because it won't last.
But if you come to me and like, yeah, I'm a literal person. If you want me somewhere, you need to open your mouth and say it.
I'm the same way. I don't just throw my plans out there and hope somebody bite.
Because what also didn't happen is she didn't ask me what my plans was.
How selfish to assume.
What if I had something going on that day?
What if I had a date maybe I didn't know how it was gonna go. So to save myself embarrassment, I told nobody about it. And then I'll update y'all after. You don't know what I'm doing.
But yeah. But I actually think, well, no. But that's the weekly Reddit and our little
Tidbit.
tidbit on the whole invite thing. I just could honestly, I'm happy we got all those comments. I like getting the comments. I want people to engage with us more.
It just caught me off guard, the
The ones
responses.
that
They caught me
were
off
the
guard.
ones that were open to just like dialogue back and forth, those were great conversations. There was a woman that was like, I don't agree with this, and I responded to her, and she could easily say I disagree, and it wasn't a whole thing. But then you did have the ones that was like, oh, you're clearly just a bad friend, and it's just like, okay, I'm not about to waste my time responding to
Cause
you
for one,
because
you don't even know me. We not
we
even
don't know each
friends.
other.
You don't know nothing about my friendship. But
So, but like I said,
mm,
I appreciate the commenting. I don't want people to stop commenting. If we say something that you don't agree with,
let us
tell
know.
us.
Let us know.
But don't expect us to change how we feel.
No, cause baby, this
Because
is
at the
called a
end,
girl's
it is our
perspective.
perspective.
And you may not like it, and that's fine.
But somebody also got in the comments was like, not them with the pillows to hide their guts.
Boy, that was
I
funny.
was like, Indies.
It's a comfort pillow. I do this at home also. It's just
I
comforting.
said those are our emotional support pillows,
It's
and
just
they are
comfortable.
they are just as much a part of the show as we are.
But I will say, when I seen that video,
Which one?
when I had that peach shirt on with the words, and my gut ate all the damn words off the shirt.
I think that's when they
That's when
transition
the pillow
from.
went, that pillow went from the side to in the front. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
I
I
think
said,
mine started out there. I mean,
whew.
occasionally I will have it here,
I mean, I
but for
do
the
it at
most part, I do
home.
have it here. It's just I don't want to
At
bump
home,
the
I do
mic.
this, but I figured I thought it would be distracting. So I was like, I'll leave it on the side.
Then somebody commented on his and was like, "No, those are just to hold their phones." And I said, "Both of you
Oh,
are right."
both. Because that
I'm
is
like,
where the
"Both of you are
phones go.
correct." I said,
But
"It's to hide the guts that we know y'all know is there."
because you see the rest of our damn body, y'all know it's there.
I'm like, "We know we not fooling you."
We are healthy Indiana gals.
And I
That
like
is
to
what
eat.
we
I'm
are.
sorry. I like going to get my Korean fried chicken every Friday.
We have a good time. We eat. There's nothing else to do.
That's how me and Jay bond on a weekly basis. I'm surprised
Food.
we ain't got food already.
Food.
But yeah, I like the engagement. That was our top engaging thing, and I was really proud of that highlight. I just was surprised that so many people
Has such strong
had strong
feelings.
feelings
Strong
about
differing
that.
feelings. Strong
Um,
differing feelings.
the
That was
only one that
interesting.
I will say I flat out disagree with was the one that was just like, you said that to make her look bad. I'm like, first of all, I said no names. This is a girl's perspective. We tell stories from our lives,
And
whether that
she's in
makes
multiple. She make herself look bad.
whether that means I be the one look bad or they be the one look bad. Somebody's gonna look bad in some of these stories.
The point is to have a
And
story
I
and
don't think
say a
that story
story.
makes
Yeah.
her look bad. It just clearly points out that me and her were not compatible.
That was the point of the
That was
conversation.
it. She's not a bad person. She's a great person. But we were not compatible. And that's
Show
it.
would.
It's literally that simple. But
Life goes on.
that is the weekly Reddit and our little tidbit, as Jade called it.
I
So
let it.
I had a question for Jade.
Oh
And
yeah.
don't read the screenshot that I know you looking in the. So, delusion versus denial.
Okay.
What's the difference?
Okay.
Yeah,
So
to you, what's the difference? 'Cause I know you don't care about the dictionary
show
anyway.
don't. But because you know I just make up something,
For real.
but and expect you to know exactly what it.
Until the definition will be in your benefit. Like, sure.
We need to go get this again.
Mm-mm.
But
Go
anywho,
ahead. Your definition of delusion and versus denial.
okay. So denial involves knowing. Denial is just flat out avoidance, but you are aware of the situation.
Okay.
Sometimes people that are delusional, it's like sometimes they might know, but it's a deeper level of, I don't know how, it's like a deeper level of denial to the point where they trick themselves into believing something that is not true, that they know is not true.
So is all denial delusion, but not all delusion is denial?
Yes. Because denial, like in your mind, you go,
I know
girl,
you.
now you know this ain't, because you know I struggle with that bad. You be like, now Jade. Now Jade. And I'm like, I know. That's
I know.
denial. Delusion is the people that are on Zillow looking at $1 million homes with $20 in their bank account and genuinely believing that they can get that with no extra effort to their lives in any way, shape, or form. That is delusion. Thinking you
Okay.
go get a basketball player while eating McDonald's, honey, you're not.
Thinking that you about to go date one of the K-pop stars.
Look, now things could happen.
See, this is delusion at work, right here.
Knowing they ain't
Delusion.
worried about my ass.
Delusion.
Delusion.
Okay, so I actually did look up the like what's the difference between delusional and
Yeah,
denial
what the
because
dictionary say?
they
What's the
sound
dictionary say?
awfully similar.
They're not though. I know they're not.
And
What's
it
the
says
dictionary
denial and
says?
delusional thinking are similar in that they involve a dismissal of truth.
Mm-hmm.
However, the difference between the two is that denial is a product of the subconscious designed to protect our psychological equilibrium and reduce stress of unacceptable realities.
Okay, like I said, so you know deep down, like you in denial, you
So
know
it's a way to protect yourself.
it's
That's what
natural and
denial.
delusional is not, is what it
And
basically said.
delusion, on the other hand, is a firm belief in the untrue.
Like I said, because you psych yourself into thinking things that are not true
Yeah, that's like me
or
saying, "Oh,
true.
I 100% got a chance with Bang Chan," knowing damn
I
well I
will.
don't.
No, Christopher don't give a damn.
Knowing damn well that in June, when we go to that damn concert, I'm gonna get tackled by a damn bodyguard
That's
if
why
I
you said
even
you're
try to
working on
get
your
close to
upper
him.
body strength so you can be ready.
Gotta do my push-ups. But I was like, that's me being delusional. And I'm 100% aware that I'm delusional. People who are in denial, in my opinion, they don't know that they're in denial. Something has to happen to
They
them
block
to
it. They
make
know,
them
but they
realize
block
that they
it.
were in
Their
denial.
brain knows it's not true. Like it's a survival tactic. Their
Hmm.
brain knows it's not true. But then another part of their brain is like, but it is.
But then that makes me think, so you know I can be this way sometimes.
Oh Lord, what's that?
And so talking about delusion.
Mm-hmm.
How far from delusion is manifestation?
Interesting, interesting. Because you gotta be a little delusional to manifest. You do.
So,
But the difference is manifestation oftentimes comes with a plan of action for your delusional thoughts.
okay,
That to me is the difference. That is the
I would agree
difference.
with that. And because you do have a lot of people that likes to preach manifestation, but without any work,
That's not manifestation, that's dreaming.
which is to me delusion.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, true manifestation comes with a plan of action to how you're gonna get this thing that you believe is so far away. You're going, okay, what can I do to increase my chances of getting this thing that is not part of my reality right now? That is the difference. Manifestation involves work,
Well,
not
then,
just thoughts.
what's the difference between manifestation and the people that go, "I'm throwing it out in the universe"?
Because they're not doing any work. That's not any work. That's
Oh, we gonna get ate up.
that's not work.
You gonna get ate up for that for that.
I don't care. And you know what? I'm built like a piece of corn and I ain't gonna break. I'm gonna come out the same way I came in, whole and intact.
But I was just like, I
But
said,
that's I feel
manifestation
the
has to take a certain level of
it
delusion.
does, but then behind it
But then,
is work. It's work
but then I'm
though.
also like, so what's the difference between manifestation and having faith? Because we all have to, for our religion, we have to have faith.
Well, they're kind of, as far as religion is concerned, it's the same thing. It's
That's what
it's
I
the
thought.
mustard seed, you know.
The mustard seed is just that much.
Yeah.
So,
But instead of in religion, you just have that faith in yourself instead of a higher power. That's it. Now, if you're
see, for me,
religious, that would
manifestation
be
is I not only do I have faith in myself, but I also
hmm
have faith that God is going to provide
that's
it
how
to
mine
me.
works. Is both. It's not either or. I'm not putting it all because that's why I believe it has to have an action plan. Because if you were just giving it all to God, you wouldn't need action plan. Your prayers will be your action plan.
But I think
If
giving it all to God also, like,
but God
God
requires
provides
work.
you
Yeah. hmm
with that plan. You know what I
Everything,
mean?
but the Bible tells you that it's a two-way relationship if you
Yeah.
actually reading it. We ain't gonna get too biblical up
Nah,
in
we not.
here.
We not.
But if you actually reading it, it's a two-way relationship. It's not just him giving and you taking. It's
It
both of
shouldn't, and it
y'all.
shouldn't be. And I actually was telling somebody this earlier. Somebody years ago asked me how I'm so lucky. And I said, I don't necessarily think it's luck.
Cause you know I get that a lot too.
I said, I just feel like when God is pulling me in a certain
I
direction, I
follow.
don't fight it. I
I
I
follow.
go.
That's
So
simple.
it just becomes easier because I'm not fighting it.
hmm
If he's telling me I need to go this direction, why am I trying to go the opposite?
He done already told me.
And I'm like, and there usually are signs. You'll see a buildup, like you were working at the company that I that when you
Oh,
used
I
to work with
tried to
me,
fight it.
you tried to
Oh,
fight that so hard, but literally it felt like every other week there was something coming up saying, hey, this place, you should go there. You
I
should
even got
interview.
tricked.
Yeah.
I even got
So I'm like,
tricked.
clearly God is pulling you that way. go. What are you fighting it
And
for?
that's why I got mad as I give up. That's why I said I give up. I give up. I'm going now
And what were you
because
able to do? You were able to get so much
boy,
schoolwork
I
done.
I've
You
knocked out
like,
so much.
and I'm
And I
like,
also gained like 20 pounds, but
now
that's
that's another story. But people, I think a lot of people miss their blessings because they just go. Like,
because
why are
they
you fighting
say
it?
that they
Whether
have
they call it
faith,
whether they
but
call it God, whether they call it the universe, whether they
who
call it
whatever.
whatever, why fight it?
If your compass is going north, just go north.
Just go north. It's literally providing you with the plan right there. Just do it.
Because I don't understand how you're saying that you want the universe to guide you. And then when it guides you, you say, I only trust
But I ain't
myself.
want that.
I only trust myself. Then what
It's
did you
like the guy on
ask?
TikTok that always posts. I think his name is Choi or something like that. He'll always post TikToks talking about some God, please send me, a wife for this or this and this, and then he'll show like a girl that's like he want that God send him. He's like, nah, but not that one.
Exactly.
It's like, so then you don't want God to help you. Then you don't want the universe to help you or whatever manifestation, whatever. You're not actually following the plan.
Well, because sometimes getting what you want involves stuff you don't want to do.
You know what it
And
is?
that's what it
You know what I think it
is.
is?
Well,
Change.
yeah.
For human beings are we're supposed to change. Like that's supposed to happen. But we fight that at every chance we get. Like we fight it.
Not
Even if
me.
you could come to me right now and say, I got this big change, even though I know it's going to be the best thing for you. And I'll still be like, I don't know.
And
It's
you
going to
do
be work.
and do.
I know
But
I do. And it's just like, I think most people do. Most people will see change and be like, oh, I know it's going to be good for me, but man, that mean I got to change this. I got to
see,
change that. I can't do this no more.
and I don't think like that. Girl,
I
you
do.
know me. I am like a little thing on a lazy river. I'm just floating through life. Universe say, hey, take a left. I go, okay. And then I just take a left. And that's why people think I'm nuts. But then I'll say, go, some stuff comes so easy to you because I don't fight things.
Now, yeah, and I'm talking about like major decisions, like my job,
Oh, yeah.
my schooling, things that I've been through where I'm at now versus where I was back
Every
then.
major decision,
It's
I'm
just
just,
like, yeah, because I
mm,
felt I was being pulled in that direction, and instead of trying to go the opposite,
just
I went,
went.
and I'm like,
Just went. That's what you
just
do.
think about how much easier stuff is to pull when it's just, and when it just gives in. It's like, all right,
Yeah. But again, it takes a lot of faith in yourself to trust
and there
something
you
or
go,
someone else.
there you go.
I fully go, you know
How much
what?
faith do you think people actually have in themselves? That
None.
is the question.
None,
Ooh,
Jocelyn.
that is a
None.
question.
None. None. Because somebody be like, well, what if it don't work out? And my brain goes,
But what if it does?
when I'm like, even if it don't, I'll pivot and I'll be all right. Like that's how I feel about life. I will pivot and I will be all right if it don't.
You know how you could tell if somebody have faith in themselves sometimes? If they are willing to ask how easily they will ask questions that they have. Now, me, I ask you anything I want to. I'll ask anybody anything I want to. And I even tell people at work. I've actually gone to one of the partners at the firm before and was like, "What do you do here?" And people was like, "You asked him
You
that?"
need to know how you gonna
I
know
was
what you
like,
can and can't ask them based off.
I said, "Look, I'm going to ask the question because at the end of the day, the worst they can say is mind your business or no. And
Look,
I'm
or
okay.
he could be
I'm okay with
asshole. They could
either
go
one.
look at the org chart.
And I'm okay with that too.
You know, I
But if
just
I
want to
got a
know.
question, I'm gonna ask it. Like, and then
And then
back to the
sometimes job titles don't match what people do. And so that's a whole other
and back to the closed mouths don't get fed. People also won't ask for stuff that they want because they aren't confident that they can get it. Why?
just
The worst
ask.
they can say is
No.
no.
And even then you can make the choice that you gonna make based off of yes and no.
Seriously.
And you go, oh, okay,
Mm,
interesting.
all right, well, they didn't want to do this. They don't want to give me that. That's
Okay.
fine. That's their prerogative.
Got my box and I'm ready to go.
Something wrong with you. But
Girl, you know
man,
that's how I
how
roll.
many people have don't have faith in
And
themselves.
that's why life
That's
is, you know what? Life really will be hard if I didn't. And I will admit that, like, if you have no faith in yourself, life could be overwhelming. It
I
could be
think,
difficult.
and I'm not saying this fits for every circumstance, but if it seems like shit is just constantly happening to you, you need to what are you fighting? What are you trying not to do that you
Yeah.
probably
It's an
should be
internal
doing?
issue.
It's an is
It's
that's
an
the thing. It's
internal
an
issue.
internal issue. You have to look inward.
And they don't. They blame everyone. They'll blame their neighbor down the street. They'll blame everybody that goes, so at what point are you gonna go, you know what, I could have done this, this, and this, and I probably
Hmm.
would have had a different outcome. If those are not conversations you having with yourself while everything is imploding around you, you need to
Here's the
do
thing,
that.
like for instance, talking about jobs again. If you are at a shit job and you want another one, but you constantly complaining about this job, yet you constantly getting notifications from LinkedIn, Indeed. Hey, this
This
job
place
is
high.
available. Hey, this
Your
job is
resume
available.
match this.
Hey, they looking. Why are you blaming other
I
people?
hate people that do. They'll be at their job. How long you over here? 20 years and complain every day. Ma'am, then
You
leave.
can 100% do something about that.
Gotta get a, you don't even gotta leave the company. Just work for a different department. Dang.
But
Try something.
I think because of people's lack of
Confidence in
confidence in
themselves.
themselves, they a
That's
lot of the
scary.
times won't do it.
They'll
It's
just
scary to go
suffer.
to a new job. You have to go in, you have to build that relationship again. You have to learn all of their stuff for their company. Maybe you don't completely qualify for that job. I always tell people, even if you don't qualify for that job at all, apply for it anyway if you're interested in
The
it.
worst that'll happen is you
Is they
get
gon'
ignored. That's literally the
literally,
worst. You'll go, well, damn. And then
I didn't qualify for it anyway. It was a long
it
shot.
was a long shot and it didn't work, but
And
it's all
that's
right.
okay. I man, you really was on to something when you said that, cause man,
You like, let's go on this tangent real
that
quick.
hit me in a heart.
Let's preach today.
I was like, man, people have to have more confidence in
They
themselves.
do. They
And
do. Because you know I have too much. That's my problem. Oh, that's my, when I'm
but you
like,
don't have
baby.
enough where you're cocky though.
No, I'm just like, oh, I can make it happen. How? Don't know.
Because I have enough faith in
Yeah.
myself and in God.
And my answer is don't know, but it's gonna happen.
I bet it will.
Bet it will. Bet I'll quit this job during lunch and have a new job in 2 weeks. Bet I'll have
I mean,
it.
same thing with this podcast. People were like, "Are you sure about that?" I'm like, "Want to bet?"
We doing it.
Well, I suffer from the if somebody else can do it, I damn sure can do
Yeah,
it.
see, I don't do that. I go, you know what? This sounds like a fun experience. And
I
that's
think you said who made what doing what?
oh, if they
Mm,
doing it.
I can do that.
And this will get you in trouble because I can do that in situations. You should not be saying I can do that.
I don't know I don't know what you're talking about, but
You be doing too much of I can do that. And I'm like, now you got a 17 things that you done told
that is
yourself
true.
I can do that. And
That is
really you
true.
only could commit to 3, but now you got 17. So
That's
you need to find a way out of
that's why
that.
that podcast Growth Diaries is sitting there with one video on it.
And I told you it was too soon to do that shit. You don't listen. You don't.
Pot calling the kettle black.
What I do?
Now, Jay, you know damn well you'll sit there and suffer for days after somebody done offered to help you because you so stubborn and don't want to accept it.
I got it.
Right.
And
That
even
was
though,
me. You told
and
me, ain't
yeah,
that too much? I got it.
because my brain goes, help sure would be nice. And I go, man, no, we got
And
this.
then help come and say, you want me to help you with this?
Nah.
And like, no.
Well, I didn't say, I was like, it's a good idea. Just, I don't think now's the right time for that. And that was my response. Like
Well,
like I
that
said, Jocelyn always trying to find a job to do.
no, I'm not.
She even made a hobby a job. Because that's what you do.
What hobby?
Your K-dramas.
How's that a job? You're talking about my list. You guys, I have a nice, well put together list of K dramas, and I know y'all can't see it, but it's on my phone, and I am proud of this list. But it's here, and it just simply goes like that. And yes, you can scroll in it, but it is separated into sections. I have my active section, and then I have my currently watching, and I have my already watched. I don't understand how that's a job. Maybe I have OCD and I have ADHD, which I'm told that is linked to OCD, or OCD is linked to ADHD. So, it is what it is. I am who I am.
All I have is a watch later list. That's as far as any of it will. I have my wish list on whatever platform, and that's it.
Like I said,
That's all.
I'm proud of my K drama list.
Is
And this
it? It's
allowed me to
intensive.
watch a
It's
nice,
so many. They got shows like we have books. It's crazy.
which is why I needed someplace to keep them all.
Because I did have a book list. It's so many good books out. It's so many. I need to do a similar list for the books I want to read.
Oh, look at you. Now you want to do a similar list.
But I can listen to the books on my way to and from work and dropping off them
No, I can't.
kids.
It's the subtitles. I can't do that while I'm doing other stuff.
Because
But
we got to look at the
anywho,
subtitles. We don't know what they're saying.
that is very, very true. I have no idea what they're saying. But I do think that manifestation works. But it will not work if you're not willing to put the work
It won't
in.
work if you not working. That's how
You
it
have to come
goes.
up with a plan. Yes, I'm
Manifesting.
manifest.
Manifesting.
I don't know. Manifesting great things for this podcast. Yes, I'm manifesting that we're going to get a lot of subscribers. We're going to get a lot of interaction from the people that watch it, whether they like it or don't like
Well, if
it.
we keep talking
I'm
crazy, we going to.
I'm manifesting that we will make money from this. I'm manifesting that we will be able to take this far.
But we know
But
there's
I'm
work
not just
involved to
saying,
get
I'm
there.
just throwing it out there in the universe.
I low key hate when people do that because, stuff like that is what makes people also dismiss religion. And
Mm.
I don't like that because that's not the same thing.
Okay, explain.
So I have known some atheists in my time.
I've known some atheists too. I've dated
And one
one.
of the main things they say is, oh, your God won't do that for you, stuff
See,
like
I don't
that.
like that.
And I don't like that.
I
I
am
don't
not in the
like
business
that.
of converting people to Christian. Now, I'm a Christian Baptist. I am not in the business of trying to force people to convert over to my religion. If you tell me you're an atheist, okay, you're an
That's what you
atheist.
are.
But do not come to me and try to shake my faith and my belief because you don't believe in
And
God.
it's crazy because if you tell them that they're trying to convert people to be atheists, they get mad and say there's not what they're doing. I'm like, that's exactly what you're doing. Why are
That's
you
what it
trying to
feels
belittle
like
how they
when you come to
feel?
me and say, your God did this, your God don't. No, because all of that is unnecessary. I'm not one of, and I've actually on these dating sites would talk to an atheist, and every time they find out I'm a Christian, they be like, I'm surprised that you was willing to talk to me, because usually Christians are like really, you know, strict on the whole, oh, I can't date nobody that's a Christian or whatever, that's an atheist. And I was like, look, God told me to accept everybody the way they are. I am not in the business of converting people, but if
Hmm.
God wants to use me to convert you, sure, I will allow him to. But
I respect that
that
same
doesn't
respect in return, though.
exactly. But that
Mm-mm.
doesn't mean that I'm coming to you and stuffing Christianity down your throat. That just means that maybe you're taking the experiences that I deal with, the things that I go through and how I get through them, and maybe that will bring you closer to God. But that doesn't mean I'm coming to you and being like, "You see what God would do for you."
That is not
No.
even a good salesman. It ain't.
No. I'm gonna be like, you could just see from my experiences.
And that's what they think. Well, if man is fat, then what's the difference between that and religion? I'm like, and it's the same thing I say. Work is
Honestly,
faith too. I'm like, it's
the
it's
difference
faith
between
too.
manifestation and religion to me is the person. That's it.
Because I'm like, Chad, because I don't believe. Because
Because
prayer
somebody
and
might call it,
manifestation are not the same thing.
they're
And some
not.
people say it is, but no,
How
no,
could it
it's
be the
not.
same? I would give saying is that you're throwing it out into the universe closer to prayer than manifestation.
People just be saying. I think people say stuff just to piss people off. Like, I genuinely think they out
I'm
here.
genuinely curious. How does manifestation equal prayer.
I don't feel that way. I don't know. That's something that I have heard, and I was like, that don't make sense. That ain't the same
Yeah.
thing. Who y'all praying to? And so that don't even make sense.
People are allowed to believe whatever they want to believe. That's my stance on it. But like I said, I'm not trying to convert nobody. I'm probably not even the best. I know I'm not the best Christian out of that. Some Christians might tell me I'm not a Christian, but I just manifestation. Like I said, the difference between that and religion to me is the person, because maybe they're not a religious person, but they do
They're spiritual.
manifestation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
usually that's my experience. The spiritual people, they're the ones that say manifestation. The religious people, they say, "Oh yeah, that's God and my faith."
I know some church people get mad about vision boards and stuff. Ooh, they get mad. And I'm like, what are you mad about?
Vision boards is just not. It's not that deep. It's just a board. I mean, it's not just a board. I know some people really believe it's not for me, but I know some
I
people
just
really
have
believe
lists
in
of
it.
things I want to do. I don't have a board. Well, people have turned it to a whole, aesthetic thing now anyway. And it's just a picture of a mansion, picture of money, stuff like that, picture of a Range Rover. It's
Which
stuff
I'm okay
like
with all
that.
of that. But if you're gonna have that on your vision board, how do you plan to get it?
Because my goals
Because you can't keep just throwing stuff out in the universe and hoping at some point it just
is gonna
sticks.
stick. No, I'm like the thing is there's nothing wrong with a vision board, but I think one side of the vision board can be pictures, but the other side should be actions you're gonna do to get over there.
Exactly.
That's just how I
Now
feel
tell
about
me how
it.
many vision boards you seen like that.
None. That's why I
Exactly.
just have a list. Like I literally have a list
And
of
then you
shit
get
I want to
somebody
do.
like me that's super logical and analytical that would see the vision board and go to a person and be like, "Oh, okay, okay, this
So
look
how you
good.
gonna
How
do
you gonna?"
that?
And then they be like, "Oh, well, she just shit on my vision board."
No, I didn't.
Nope.
It's very
I just
nice.
asked you how you plan to get it.
It's very aesthetically pleasing.
Cause you just tossed that like a baseball to the universe and it's just soaring, but it ain't nothing's out there to catch it.
Because I do think people need to include that. Like, even if you put just on the back what you about to do, like
Something.
the front can be,
Even
because
a high
mine,
level plan.
just even, okay, you want the Range Rover. Okay, are you finna save money
Even
for
if
it?
you
Are you
was to
finna
come
get a second job? What are you
even if you was to
doing?
come to me and say, "This is the year I want to get it," I'd be like, "Hey, you got the year down. That's progress.
Are you working on your credit to get a loan for it? Like, what are you doing
What are you
then?
doing?
I wouldn't do that.
I want a
I'm cheap.
husband in 6 years." Oh, okay.
But
Are you putting yourself
look,
out there?
now that you brought it up, I got something to say about
Oh
that.
God, what
I,
happened?
I want people to stop wishing and praying for husbands and wives, and you need to be detailed with what you asking for, because just because you have a husband don't mean you're going to have a happy marriage. If you ask for just a husband is all you're going to get. You need to be more detailed. But that's the end of my tidbit. Because you shall receive exactly what you ask for. You'll get just a husband. He don't want to work. He doesn't talk well to you. He's not good with your children. He want to have children, but don't want to help raise them.
Well, I think that's also if you're gonna ask for a husband or
I think
whatever,
there should be a list of things you looking for in a
have
husband, not just a husband or a wife. Like, what are the characteristics that are not physical things, that are personality traits? Like, are you? But then also, what are you? What are you working on your personality to attract that type of person?
we literally said
Like,
this in the last
what are
episode. You need
you?
to work on yourself before you
What are you
even get a
working on?
husband or a wife or anything in the first place.
Hmm.
But I think asking for a husband or a wife or whatever is sure reasonable. Ask
I'm
for it,
just saying, have a
but
list. Don't just ask for
that
only
doesn't
a
mean
husband or
completely
wife.
abandon your standards.
That's what I said. I said, have a list. Like, if you want someone, like, let's say you're a man and you like, you know what? I think all the women in my life are loud and strong. I think I want a softer wife, right?
Hmm.
What personality traits do you have that would attract a softer woman to you? Because if you're just as loud as them, baby, a softer woman don't want
You're
you.
probably gonna attract a
Things of
loud
that
person. Yeah,
nature. Like a woman, like, I want a man with
but
good
again,
credit and money.
that brings
Okay,
us
where's your credit and money?
that brings
Because
us back to looking inward. That
hmm
has nothing to do with them. You need to figure out why you keep attracting the type of people you don't
the
want.
problem is you.
And that's what most people don't want to come to the conclusion of. The problem can't be them. It has to be this 60 people that they've dated before.
They can't all have the same problem. Like, they can't. You are the nucleus of the problem.
Not the nucleus. You
It
can
is
tell you're a
you.
student. But
It
yeah,
is
I mean,
true.
that's one of the reasons why I'm single to this day. I have spent time working on myself. So much so that I just don't want to deal with a relationship. It just sounds like a lot of work. And
Because
I
it
know
is.
me, and
Because
I
it
know I
is.
don't want to put that much effort into it. So you know what I don't do? Go out here looking for relationships.
Because it is. Because people ask me about it. They be like, who else being married? I'm like, work. Being his girlfriend was easier. And people
And even
get
that's
mad
work.
when I say it. It's the truth.
But
I have a higher level of standard now, and I want my own level back sometimes. And that's the truth. Love
well,
them dearly, though.
speaking of, relationships and finding your own one person and making sure you're with the right person,
Mm-hmm.
that actually brings us to what we recommend people watch next.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you guys liked what we've been talking about, I recommend that you watch our episode, This Trend Ruined Their Marriage.
Because, baby, it did.
It did. And we go over a fun fact in that one about where in your body, besides your mouth, that you find taste buds.
It was crazy. It was wild.
It was wild. We actually got a couple comments about that, and it was like, what?
It was wild, man.
I told my boss about it today. I said, guess where there's taste buds at? And when I told him, he said, that's gross.
It is. It is. I was like, ew, I hate that.
So make sure y'all check that out. And while you at it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe,
share.
Make sure you rate us on the Apple or other audio platforms. Rate us and review us, please.
Yay.
And of course, if you got any comments on anything we've said in this episode, make sure you are commenting. Leave us something, a like or something, to let us know you out there.
We do respond. We never say who is responding.
But we will respond.
But you will get a response.
Now give us some leeway. If we get a lot of messages like the last one, we'll at the very least like and heart every last one. We will
acknowledge it.
We will definitely acknowledge every comment. But yeah, make sure you tune into that episode, and we will see you in the next one.
Toodles.